You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want: unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherland's calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa. Okay, Hotep, Pan-African Daily TV family. Good evening, good morning, good night, and welcome wherever you're tuning in as we continue this Global Peace Week on the Pan-African Daily TV. I salute all of you that are already connected in your numbers. Yes, I know we're 20 minutes late or close something to that is because Queen Nyasha is struggling with some technical connections, but she is here and she's going to be joining us any minute now. I think she's already even there. Good. So we are going to continue our conversation on the Global Peace Week. And the essence of this conversation is actually for us to pull back from our daily activities and question a lot happening around us, particularly the African world and the setup. Now we just woke up to this news of the hurricanes Ida that has hit America. I think it's in the eastern America or something like that, around the New York City or California, and has caused a lot of damage and even taken away close to 59 lives lost from what we're getting, and even the death tolls keep rising. I mean, this morning, Professor James Small woke us up with this call and told us it is actually dangerous out there, even down in his basement. It's a flood. They are out of light. They're just in a blackout since last night and today. And so that's the more reason we would not be having him on the show tomorrow. But of course, when we look at the whole I mean, not just the earthquakes. Now we have the floods, we have the hurricanes, we have the wars on the continent. We're still trying to solve the challenge of the COVID-19 pandemic and all that is happening around us. So this flood is not something that we've been witnessing in the past. I mean, for the past 3 years, there had been some calmness, but we woke up in the middle of this month to talk about St. Valencia and our brothers in the Caribbean. Now America is affected. A couple of weeks ago was Germany, where we saw lives lost, property, and people are still even recovered from it. So all these calamities going on in the world today, we begin to question a lot and ask ourselves, what is happening in our world? What is going on? In some times before, it used to be only the focus Africa and the wars and the tribal wars and the conflicts and whatever, right? But today we are seeing a world that is almost as something is just tumbling since the pandemic 2020 last year. The world has not found peace. So our purpose today on this conversation is to question a lot. How do we make decisions in a world that is going so fast? Are we conscious of the decisions we make? And when we take these decisions, how do they affect our environment, our lives? So we are welcoming you again on this third day of Global Peace Week, because we want to digest among us and find out, how is it possible to live in peace and happiness in a world that is almost breaking and falling apart? Nyasha is going to be really engaging in the conversation like we had with King Bongana yesterday. And I want to thank all of you that contributed, the turnout, and even the feedbacks that we keep getting today till this moment about our conversations in the past days has been enormous. A lot of Africans are saying, yes, this is a time that we have to get back into our inner self, search our own selves, try to develop ourselves, be at peace with ourselves and our creator first before we even start talking about the blame game or the victimized game or other things. There is a time where we've poured out our anger about how the world systems is reacting, particularly to the African or to the black person or people of color, whatever you call us. But there's some times down now that we say we have to pull back into ourselves and see how do we deal with our individual challenges. Most of us are going through a deep period of healing. Yeah. So how do we achieve that healing? One thing is certain, we all want happiness. That is the quest for life. When you're born, you grow up, you go to school, you want to get a job, you want to get a profession, you want to raise a family, all in the quest of being happy. But now, how can we find happiness when there is no peace? Because all the geopolitical events happening on the continent they are part of us. They touch our psyche and they influence the decisions that we make. It's either you're in the running circle, you take decisions that you're not conscious of, or you just make those games and you just be dancing, you're just functional. So we want to find out, how is it possible that we can achieve that inner peace? Because when you are at peace with yourself, peace is contaminating, right? You would easily contaminate one another. And from one to one to one, we're going to touch a lot of people. And imagine if I'm at peace in myself, so my neighbors, my family, my environment, my community is going to be contaminated because of that inner peace that I have in me. And we are beginning to see that that peace is not achievable if we don't attach our spirituality, we don't put it above religion or what kind of systems that are operating. We have to connect directly, tap into the spirit of the Most High. Then we relate to humanity and we relate to nature and find that balance. We're all at striking that balance. So I want to thank you very much. Nyasha is warmly seated here, Nyasha. And thank you so much for joining us on this show, Princess. You look so beautiful, even though I know you've been facing some challenges out there. You're actually still really a little bit too dark. I know you're dark and beautiful, melanated princess, but I can see that your white teeth actually are just showing who you are under that. So you're illuminating your whole environment with that beautiful spirit that you have. Thank you for joining us on this conversation. Now, Nyasha, what are we going to be talking about today? You said a peace, to be at peace, it starts with us. What is all that? What are we expecting to hear from you? What are you going to really tell us? Because I have conversations with you. I know who actually you are. You have a lot to share to your generation and even to the past generation. I mean, yeah, I used to say you are a transition of a grand queen warrior, mother of Zimbabwe. So tell us, queen or princess, what is it that you want to share with us tonight?
Hello, Mama Tata, and hello, everyone. So, what I wanted to share today is this important conversation of coming back to ourselves, because we are going into a new era of time where, where we as people have to start working on ourselves because everything now is coming to light. And I know that it is difficult because we live in a very, um, materialistic world, very masculine world. So outside, physical things matter, what we see matter, but we have to go back into the feminine principle of what is inside matters and what I don't see matter. And so it is a challenge for all of us somehow now to do the changes we need to go back inside of ourselves and study ourselves of who we are, you know, and not look at the things outside, not look at the things outside, the person outside, or what do I have to do? It's not really take a breathe in and breathe out, take a step back and meditate. Just slow down everything and meditate. And let's spend time with myself. It is a challenge because when you start spending time with yourself, it is the hardest job that anyone can do, is to know your strengths and your weaknesses and to understand where all of us have to work on ourselves. And I think that we are going into a time where it is very important to know who we are. But we're going into a time where people are going to be able to read your mind and your thoughts. So you have to have clear thoughts and clear minds because we are operating on a higher level now because the earth is rising. So we have to really work on ourselves. And I would love to have that conversation, you know, how we can work on ourselves, how we can be honest on ourselves. Yes, and how can I answer all those questions that I have? Because a lot of people have a lot of questions about themselves. A lot of people are seeing things, are feeling things. They have so many questions. What should I do now? What is the best way? What isn't the best way? And I think that we should be able to support each other in those time and needs now. Because we are in a very emotional time now. Exactly. And I would love to have the conversation.
Thank you very much. You would try to be a little bit audible. Is it okay?
Do you mean a little bit
I
louder?
Yes, a little bit,
Okay.
just a little bit. I
Okay.
know you're that kind of soft speaking spirit. We can feel you actually. I do, but I just wonder if there are people out there actually get you audibly. I want to get a shout out there from you guys connecting. Is she audible enough? Because she has really some points, like she's saying, that we have to crack down on. It is about our self development, how we have to go back to our spirituality, like King Bongane said. Nasha, did you watch the conversation with King Bongane yesterday? And what is it
Yes.
that you actually picked from it, like an open point, or even what Reverend Dr. Ninana said on the first day?
The best point of both of them was going back in ourselves. Blank point. That's it. It is so obvious and so easy, but in the same time, it is so difficult. It is so true, but it is so hard to go back into myself. It is to go back into the feminine principles is in you. It is so simple, but a lot of people, even myself, sometimes we fail in those simple things because it is so hard. Because, all of us have been socialized to go out to work, make the money to do this, and this. Something is wrong, outside is wrong. Something's bad, that is bad. The masculine principles is outside. So we are always outside, looking outside. So it is so profound that now as a people we are trying to go back in ourselves, but it is so difficult to take a moment. It sounds so funny because even me myself, I cannot find 10 minutes to sit down. I can't. You come back home, you cook, you clean up, you find something to do. You're on your phone. So your own thoughts, your own brain, we have no time to take time to think because we are always putting action, always uh, the news, always the music, latest music. Something new is popping up all the time. So we can't even, as a people, sit down at quiet moments. We can't. So it is very profound how we have been, as the people, been programmed and socialized, to never spend time with yourself. Never. And I loved what those two African men said yesterday. It's about taking the time to spend time with yourself, to go back into the black room, like Reverend says. And we have to, as a people, try to develop those habits and attitude to go back in ourselves, back in the black room. Shut down the phone, shut down the television, shut down everybody, and just go into a small room and spend some time with yourself and know yourself. Some people die in a graveyard and never knew who they are. They never knew who they are. They have been slaves of the system, and that's sad. Yes.
It is so profound because even like what you're saying, we know even in families, even children that grow up, it is some children have been complaining even in homes. People have lived life for others, living life for the masculine, like you said, for the outside. I bother what people say about me, about the kind of house I live in, the kind of women I get married to, the kind of children, the kind of personality that I am, even my looks. I bothered about how much people will say about what I want. And so most of the time, 80% is just about, or 90%, as I can say, it's either we are pleasing the whole world, it's either you're trying to impress, and you're
Yes.
looking for some compensation in an attention somewhere that you need validation. We need, particularly us like African people or people of color. How do you see this challenge that we always want to justify to the world who we are, how our password, like we're living for the world, we're actually not living for us? That's what you mean. True.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't have to go far away. I can look at my own life where I do the same thing. Okay, how do you think of me? How so? It is so profound that we give so much what other people think about us, or even right now, young people. How many likes do I get? How many Instagram followers do I have? That we get addicted into the likes of other people. So, even a lot of young women right now make pictures of them, nude pictures of themselves to get likes from other people. It is it is said that, I mean, we are spiritual beings, but we are so, I am more than that, but we are so disconnected on our spirituality that we put so much in our outside physical. What does that think of me? How do I do this? We have been completely detached of ourselves. And I think that the self love of ourselves is so low. It is so sad that we really need to go back and really try to understand each other. What exactly do I need? And what exactly, you know, do I, and how exactly, what what do I need exactly? How can I fulfill them in a profound manner? And to always remember, I am a spiritual being. I am bigger than that. I am more than that. But it is profound that we need other people, other other people who themselves are insecure. It's not that other people are secure in themselves. All of us here are actually on a journey. So the other person themselves is insecure. So it is so sad that we as a people are not ready to take a big stand and to be, uncomfortable. Once Mama Tata, we have to be honest, Mama Tata. When you as a human being, you decide you're going to go your own way. It is very insecure. People will look at you funny, and you're on your own. And nobody wants to be on their own. So they better go to the massive of the people and join them on the likes. How do I look today? Look at me. Yes, it's easier. Be on your own is difficult. Have your own morals is difficult. It's hard. And most people are not trained to be like that. They're trained to run after other people and to be followers to other people. It's easier and it's comfortable. Yeah.
You see why I said you are a transition of a queen warrior? Because young you in your generation, I mean, to have taken time to reflect on these things, particularly you are the country director of the Africa We Want in Germany, and we know Germany is one of that kind of a land that it is difficult to just be, at peace with yourself. You
Mm.
are a student, you are a graduate, you are my PA, my personal assistant. I am thankful and grateful for that. But how do you find this time? Could you just give some tips to your viewers and the followers and young people that are actually amazed at what you're seeing? I see from the chat and the comments, a lot of people like, wow, this is deep. How old is she? She looks familiar. Of course, it's not the first time you've been here. So, how do you find that balance between you?
I spend time with myself, and I do not talk with a lot. So I spend time with myself, and there are certain topics I don't talk with certain people. There are certain people I know just get along and be along, but do not, and there are certain people I know I talk to. And I think the biggest point, because I'm a woman, is I listen to my stomach, because the stomach is one brain. We have three brains anyway. Um, the head, the heart, and the stomach. Those are three brains we have. And I listen a lot to my stomach. So when I hear something, when I see something that's, I step aside. Because I do believe that we have to go back and to listen to our own body or to my own feelings. And I do not talk a lot about what I think to a lot of people, because if I do so, they're going to discredit me or like ask me question, why do you think that? Is that true? Why? No. So sometimes I think as people we have to learn to be silent sometimes. Not just all the time. No, 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 no. Just just have your own thoughts and just be, just be silent. And of course, listen to yourself. And then that's the biggest. I think we as a woman we lead in that profound. Is to listen to your own stomach, listen to your own brain, to yourself, and I do that a lot.
You don't watch TV. That's what I know. Why not?
Um, the reason why I don't watch television, okay, I started this a long time ago, but also because of my stomach. Because when there was something would happen, there would mostly, how do I say, they are not always tell the truth on what happened. And I also found that it's always the same people giving the same information. It's always one side of the reality. And also, I don't know those people. This is one thing. I'm just seeing somebody on the screen telling me what I have to think and do. And I have a problem with people telling me what I have to think. And television does that. Look, those people did this. Okay. Okay. Is that true? So it is, and also the biggest point also is television are lights. So when you watch television, they're actually programming your brain. And knowing that when I watch everyday television on the same time, because we in Germany, we all know the late news, we all sit on the television and watch those late news after work. They're actually programming our brain. And knowing that, I stopped watching television because I believe I am the master of my brain. I make my own truth. Nobody makes me, nobody decides about my truth. But when I watch television, subconsciously, they are deprogramming me or even giving me wrong or half information. And that has been happening for a long time. But we as people, we have to do the research. The problem is, Mama Tata, is that as a people, we don't do research. We watch television without asking question. We don't double check. Then we go to sleep. And when you go to sleep, this is where the programming actually takes place and it goes into subconscious mind. Finish. Every day we do that. And that is very dangerous. Television is a very dangerous and is a war weapon. And we have to be actually no, we have to be actually aware of that. When I'm watching television, I'm giving somebody else the key to my brain. So we have to know that television is a big weapon on people. And the biggest point is for me is I don't listen to people who I do not know. I don't know those people. I don't even know if they are real people. It could be, I don't know what it is. It could be a scanner or something. So I don't watch it. Do they know me? Do they care about me? No. So that's my personal truth. That's why I don't watch television. And I would not prefer other people to watch television. And those matata are real known facts. There's nothing new. We just have to do research, but we don't do it.
It's amazing. We are
Mm.
on the Global Peace Week and we're trying to find out what are the ways in which we can detach ourselves from distractions and political
Oh.
systems that actually influence even our decision making. Now, we had a conversation, you and I, and we're looking at the whole situation of solutions that are affecting this pandemic and how people are reacting to it. And Aisha, I was so amazed with your standpoint on whether you have to be in the mainstream to do everything that everybody's doing, or you want to stand, watch, take a look, think for yourself, and decide whether you want to be in the mainstream or not. I mean, because we are always coded. There's some words that we don't use here because of one thing or the other, but you understand what we're talking about in the
Mm.
present times, looking for solutions to the pandemic, people taking different kind of actions. And now, but I was really, really, I don't know, kind of like, yeah, okay, that's fine. So what is your experience when people look at you and say, oh, you are a threat because you are not playing the game, or you're not in the mainstream attitude?
It is amazing that that people really, I'm seeing also the disconnect of family members. I see family members breaking apart because of that, saying you are a threat because you didn't do what you should be supposed to do. You have to do it to secure me. I said, no, that doesn't make sense. You would take something to secure yourself. And I have a problem with this thing of take this to secure the other person. And because you have to protect the other human being. And I'm saying, no. And when you listen to the news properly, Mama Tana, you will see they are always changing the information. They are always changing the truth. In the beginning, it was take it to secure yourself. Next moment, not to secure other people. And you're really asking yourself, if all those people have all those big PhDs, why are they failing? I mean, it is it is sad how dumbed down all of us have become. That we have been so all of us have been so programmed that we even not dare to critically think. even asking questions we can't. If Mama Bello said something very profound one time, she even said, no matter, even the person with 500 PhDs, we have to ask question and question everything. But we as a people, we don't even do that. We are too lazy, Mama Tata, to think. And people have made us so lazy. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else. No. I'm saying is we have been programmed to be completely dumbed down on our mind. That is so sad. And we have to do something against that. We have to train all of us as a people to think again and to take action and to ask questions. No matter who the person is, ask questions, critical think, and then when you think, go and read for yourself the information. And then also go and get other people to give you a different opinion. But we don't even do that. We see the news, we go and do it. And I think that, Mama, this is not normal. I think we have been made like this over generation. I that's my theory, that we have been really made this this better thinking way. We've been so we've been so dumbed down on the big level about, I think, over generation. And I mean this of all races. This is not just Africans. This is all people globally. That we've been so dumbed down that we don't even think, don't even dare to ask questions. And I understand other people. They have, Nyasha, I have to pay bills, I have to work. I don't have time also to critically think. So yeah, again, Mama Tata, we are distracted by other things. And I understand that it is too much for all of us as a people to deal with. Yes, that's all I have to say to that. That we have to, I think, go
But
back into the basics.
is it also possible that even though we've been programmed, is it possible that you can make such decisions and say, I will not do this? Like, for instance, you say, I don't watch TV. Nobody's going to force you to do that. Like you
Absolutely,
say,
yes.
it's hard. The change is hard for you to really give up some certain things that it's like, easy to do. So, but it's also possible that if I am focused in the mainstream, I'm a runner, and then you have to, where have you seen something that somebody would advertise itself to me? Oh, I took it, so you have to take it because I took it. Where on earth has someone ever loved someone to share this kind of luxury of us all?
Mama Tata, I've never in my life have seen this. I've never in my life have seen a celebrity, you know, take it and then show it. I've never seen this in my life. I've even never heard of people saying, take it to protect the other person. I've never heard of that. So now the people who don't take it are enemies. I I have never heard of that. But I think you are right, Mama. We are programmed. We can do small steps. We can. I believe we can work through that. But I think most people won't. Most people, I think, won't.
I mean, let's just rewind this a little bit back, because I find the conversation so accommodating for those that are actually thinkers, those that want to develop. And if you develop yourself, then you can change the world. They say you can't even say I want to change the world when you don't start by changing yourself, right? So
Yes,
just
absolutely.
at the outbreak, I didn't see anybody apart from news saying this. I was affected. A lot of people were affected. But would you see me come and say I have it? Why was it that I was afraid, or some other person afraid not to say that? Number two, I don't see any person that goes to the hospital and has his own challenges and comes back on the internet and show, oh, these are my results. I'm positive, or I'm this. Who does that? Why?
Mama Tata, I, Mama Tata, you know me. I don't know what's going on here. It isn't buffoonery. It is, we have to make a decision to be humans. And I think everyone knows, and I think people know what I mean by that. Even to see all those pictures on the street with people saying, take it, you're part of the society. Take it and rescue the world. And I'm thinking, what is that? I mean, it is this, but it is also this social pressure, on the people to take it. Be a good person, take it. If you don't, you're the bad one. So it is this, you know, unconsciously pressure on people. And people have studied our brain already. So those are scientists putting the pressure on us so they know what they're doing. This is not an accident that we have presidents, celebrity, big people, the Pope, you know, the Pope saying, take it. Look at us, if you were a God people, take it. Rescue other people.
And
It
these are the
is,
same people
mm,
or these celebrities that we never see them come out one day and say, stop making weapons that are killing our people. These are the
absolutely.
same. But I would have loved to have this emblem where we see celebrities and everybody, even normal people, saying, "Stop the war going on the continent of Africa. Stop the exploitation. Post all those tax and stuffs and wear the berets and put the stuff and say, no, I am for this." How not? We're talking about global peace and health and stuff, right? And who are those people that I have never heard one statement of the conflicts going on in Southern Cameroon or the conflicts going on in Uganda, be it or in Malawi, any place? We have never seen the world rise up and say, no, stop this exploitation. But for out of a sudden,
Now they care about us. It is, and the sad part is that there are a lot of also, people, even doctors, who are saying we should stop giving people those things. But they also are pushed aside. Even they are made to be quiet. So I think that now it is the time for us people not to look at outside, to look at really inside. Do I really need that? And also, is it really necessary to take something from outside to help me deal with that, you know? Or is my body strong enough to deal with that? Are there natural things that I can take? And mama, information is out there. The information is out there. What you can take to protect yourself. All the tools are out there. I just have to do the research. Everything is out there. So I think there's nothing more I can do. The things are out there. You can do the research, what you can take to protect yourself. But this is what happens um, if people are pushed with fear. People are focused on fear. You
mm,
see this whole fear. Yeah, take this, take this. This is going to happen on you. This fear around us. And I don't like it if people, anybody, say to me, take this, Nyasha. If you don't take it, you can go. No, don't put fear on me. And this is also what I see a lot. And decisions made by fear are always bad decisions. And we have to put our fear aside and really go inside. And when we go inside, trust inside, and we then act on it. The clear decision, I'm not going to take it. But then I will be taking the step to protect myself. And the information are out there. Come on, they're out there. There are even that there are doctors out there who will tell you what to take. Yes, there are doctors out there who are telling people not to take it, but there are things you can take to protect yourself. They're out there. If you need my support, I can send you a link to the doctor. You can search for them and he will tell you what to take. They're even saying it isn't a big deal. A lot of people out there who are telling you it is not such a big deal. We can handle that. But those, of course, those doctors are pushed aside or made silence. So
Um, it is all about, it's really all about the decisions we made consciously or unconsciously. I think that's really
exactly.
the center point. Like when you say
Mm,
fear, and now it's not just only fear, but my fear could be, I could be someone that is so strong, but then my family member or my partner would be
mm,
a chicken-hearted and that would influence me because of that fear.
exactly.
So we are already positioned in an environment where we talk about working on ourselves and this inner peace to find out. King Bongane made a very clear statement. I am not a Christian. I'm above. I'm a spiritual being. So we're talking about being above religion, being above all systems that exist. And you think that this is my protection because we're always running to something, even though you know
Exactly.
that it is obvious that all of us will pass on, whether you take it, you don't take it, whether you do what, all of us are going to pass on someday. So, what is that in us that keeps making us to think that, oh, even this one? So, what do you think, Naisha? We should be paying attention to when King Bongane said we have to be above all the systems and connect directly to the creator.
Beautiful, beautiful. I think what we need to do in this time now is to really take some time, is to be silent, is to really get back inside of ourselves, really. And then ask myself, really, do I really, what do I want to do? And to wait for the answer. And I do believe in that, in taking a space, you know, and really go back inside. But I know that some of our African people are very, scientific people. Okay, listen to the news on television, but then also go and get other information. Have two different information and then work with information. Have two doctors who are saying take it and those who say don't take it, and then listen to both of those people and then make a clear decision what I'm going to do and take full responsibility of your decision. This is what I believe in. This is what you need to do right now. And about fear of death. I think the problem is that we are spiritual beings. There is no fear for us. There is no death for me and you. But because the people who are running the system don't have spirits, so if they die really. So they put this fear of death into us, but in real, it is their fear. I have no, so we shouldn't be a fear of death. We should be bold people, bold in taking our decision. And if I say I'm not going to take it, trust in it that the the universe or your ancestor or your spirit are going to show you the way to do it. A way how you're gonna find ways around this because we are protected people and we are loved people. Just give it up the pressure. Give it up to the universe. Give it up. And just say, help me, but I know I will handle it. If I say I'm not going to take it, I may lose my job. I may lose so and so. Things are going to be fine for you. Believe in the higher spiritual power, and I believe in that. That's the way we as people should be. Go, run, and move. That we are protected people, and I'm going to find a way to do it because we are not victims. I am in a difficult time right now, but I'm going to find a way because I am protected. Because what do we in Germany say? Meine Würde is unantastbar. I am untouchable, not even in a physical realm, also spiritually, I am protected. So nobody can even touch me because I am loved and protected, and I believe in that wholeheartedly. And if my family member are going to take it, put pressure on me, don't talk about it. Or even be honest to them. Or just, find a way to deal with them. There are always ways, find a way to deal, with those family members. But don't let other people influence your decision. Because at the end of the day, you are going to be the one who's going to live with the decision, not your family members. And there's something also I want to talk about. Sometimes, when family members, friends, do take it and have negative side effects, but don't tell you. And then push you to take it too. So there are struggle because people, we are social beings. When we suffer, we want to suffer in groups. So what people do is they come to you and tell you, "Oh, Mama Tata, take this thing. It's good for you. Take it." And I myself, I know that thing has a very heavy side effect. And when I can go back, I wouldn't do it. But people lie. There's also one thing we have to also be dangerous to people. People sometimes know that they did the big mistakes but lie to you so you can take this, so you can take it, and then they want to suffer with you. So we are social creatures. So don't always believe what people tell you. "Oh, I'm fine. I took it. It's not a big deal. Now I'm fine." You don't know. Because we are also very ego driven people. I hope I made some sense here.
You make very, very big sense. I don't even know how I can not saying this. I mean, who but thank you so much, Kofi. You're saying the same thing that I'm just saying here, that yes, the young people, if they would have this kind of a brain, this kind of courage, this kind of power, this kind of decision making, this kind of thinking, forward thinking, and say, you know what, I'm untouchable. I make the decisions. I stand to that responsibility. What more, or what else would we bother about? Carrie Bank, thank you so much. Yes, I see. Johnny Boy, thank you so much. All of you are just like, yes, this is it. It is the absence of us putting our faith, handing over our destiny for others to decide and make decisions that affect us. And you know what? And in the end, they all pull back. When it's die minute, it's last minute, nothing to save you. Even on the table, they say, I'm sorry, I tried, and a time out. Particularly if you make that conscious decision or
Mm-hmm.
unconscious decision. Take, for instance, even when we do operations and stuff like that, and you actually, yes, they would tell me what is important, what is not important, but they leave you to decide. Nobody's going to
Exactly.
oblige you to do it. And so they leave you to decide. So we are talking about how do we make conscious decisions, not based on fear,
Absolutely.
based on the trust of the Most High, who gave us, like King Bongane said, gives you a work. All of us are having our work. We're having our duties on earth. So I believe the one that gave me the work and that I'm working it takes care of everything even before. Yes, I deal with all the things on earth, but I need to be in connection and so that I'm conscious.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, whether it's through it or not through it, so but Naisha, it's very, very important. And I love this kind of perception. And I think these are the conversations that young people should be holding these days, talking about how we sit back, think we want to take over a continent, we want to control these things. But how do I start even by disciplining myself? Naisha,
Exactly.
give me the trick. You told me something yesterday that a lot of our elders and a lot of people we see today just talk too much, but you're worried about what they do in private. What did you mean, actually?
What I mean was, is I think that as a people we have been so. I think what I mean by that is we have been trained, even in this culture, to know a lot, read books a lot, to know it all, so we can talk, talk, talk. But when I say I don't care what you say to me on the show, what I care about is what you do privately. We have, we have to be in I am. I am what I speak about. A lot of us, young and old, all of us, a lot of our people, we have YouTube channels, we open them up and then we speak about African culture, we speak about Africa. I speak about Africa, our ancient time, and I speak, and I'm speaking. But when I shut down the camera, I am beating my wife behind closed door. And I think that we have to be a people who care more what is deep down, less than what I see. Because we live in this masculine world, we care about what we see, what I can see, and we care less about what I don't see. And we have to be people who care about what people do privately. I'm not saying what to do privately, but we should look deeper in people than just what they show us. I mean, I also show my best when I'm on show when I'm on camera. But what people on the Pan African TV should care is what does Nyasha do when I go offline? As the people, you should care about that. How does Nyasha deal with people who are under her, with weaker people? How does Nyasha treat herself? That is what the Pan African viewer should care about. How do I treat Mama Tata? How do I treat the people around me? And what does Nyasha do if no one is looking? That is what we should care about. Not about what Nyasha is showing you on the Pan African TV for 2 hours. All of us can make a show for 2 hours and act accordingly. And I think that because we live in this masculine, materialistic world, we care more about what we see and less about what we don't see. Yeah, and a lot of YouTubers, I'm not gonna say names now, have fallen apart because of that habit of being a being a being a speaker. And a lot of people in those YouTubers can speak very well. They are very articulate. They make very good money. And behind closed doors, he is busy with little children. So I don't want to say any, but this is very important as people. We have to start care. But what we don't see in people, don't look at me and, what does Nyasha do? If I shut down the camera right now, what do I do? And how do I treat other people? This is important. We need to care about what we don't see. I know in this Eurocentric, culture, we always about privacy, privacy, privacy. I know this is the way we are raised, but we have to change the way we are. If we want somebody, who is represent us, we have to make sure what kind of spirit are we letting, are we letting, leading us. How, what kind of human being is she? What does she do privately when she's looking? What does she really believes? You know, and how and how does she deal with people who are weaker than her?
Mhm.
And we have to really work on that because we care too much about people's titles, people's degree, people who articulate, who look good, and we have to change. We have to really work on ourselves on that,
Hmm.
and we have to
That
be
is very
conscious.
that is very
Mm.
correct. That is very correct. What do I say? Like Caribang is saying, yes. Old folks used to say, "Leave what you speak," and why I think this point is very relevant to us as people of color or African people. We're looking to develop our continent, but we start developing our continent by developing our own selves. and developing one another, right? So we have seen a lot of young people that have put their faith in the leaderships that we have. And I think this is a critical point. No matter how we disagree, you're 100% correct on it. How many people do speak, but actually just go back to sleep? You give them the vote, and then tomorrow they're going to be doing the same thing. It's the same thing now. We're getting into that point where we tell people, put all this leadership on test. Do a due
Mm.
diligence. Who do I call my leader? A lot of people just, oh no, you are Mother Africa. Oh, you do this. Oh, you do this. Exactly. That's the point. I understand. How do we build trust? We're not going to go into their closet to start looking. What is it that they do? But there are also ways, like you say, how do we treat the marginalized people, the people that are under us? That is
Mhm.
very essential. And I think that point, I don't disagree any further. I hope I hope I'm not different. That's why you're with me. I don't know.
No, absolutely right. This is very important. How do I treat people who are under me? That is very much important. That is important. That is important for all of us. All of us have people who are under us. All of us, even when I go out, I have young sisters, young brothers. How do I treat my young people? How do I treat people on the street? How do I treat people who are lesser than me? How do I treat them? That decide who I am. That that is decide who I am, and that is important. And I think that as people, all of us, myself too, we have made so lazy that we just want to give up our responsibility to somebody else. And if that fail, we blame them. But no, we have to blame ourselves for that. It is my responsibility. I am responsibility for that. And we have to, as a people, look deeper in people. How does he treat his wife, his family, people under him? This is important. How does he speak to people? That's very much important. Don't care what I do right now on camera. Care about what I do when I shut down the camera privately. That is
How would I
important.
know? Anyway, we understand
That's
that
true.
point, the message that you're saying out there. Naisha, you also are a queen warrior and studying as an African student, born or raised out, partly raised here, born on the continent in Zimbabwe, and you relocated here, and now you're a student at the uni, and you've been having some challenges, also challenging the systems, your lecturers, and they always look at you as if you're different. And when I talk to you, you told me because there's just too much lies in what they are saying and what you know and how you perceive it. So, but how do you merge this to say at the end of the day, you give in or you stand to your ideas and what you know is truth about your people and your culture?
Me, I'm just silence. I have a bigger goal. I just do not, I don't waste my time. That's just me. I just know my truth and I'm just silent. Just give me my point that I need and just send them, let's go. I do not fight because, you know, I don't fight with them because I know this is a war. Number one, they're not worth my time. They're fighting. No, I don't do that. I am so sorry. No. I mean, everybody has to make their own journey. And I think I have no rights to force it on people the truth. And I think even knowing the truth for them also, because I think European people also have different challenges. I mean, we African, at least we know the word is a lie, at least we know, we Africans we know, but the European, man, that's a different thing right now here. They are really in their own system so much. And for them, knowing that all they know is nothing, I think will break them apart in a lot of ways. And I think that they have their own challenges to do. And um, I think they have it. People always talk about white supremacists, but I don't see any supreme here. But when it comes to spirituality, what somebody told me is the European to go into spirituality. will take them longer as us Africans because they are so far gone. They are so gone. They are so much in their in their system. Because this white system is so centered on themselves than for them to go into spirituality. We take them a lot of energy, truth, and it's hard. So when I look at them, I feel sorry for them. I really feel sorry for them. They're, I really feel very much pain for them because one day when this system is gonna break down, they're going to have a mental breakdown on themselves to know the truth about themselves. That's why, in my opinion, I don't see any privilege here. No, we as Africans, we have a lot of privileges. As it's easier, because I think for us to go into our spirituality is easier for us. The way is shorter, I think. But for them, boy oh boy, I think it's going to be a long road. it's it's too much. It's too much. Boy oh boy.
For the first time, to be honest with you, I'm so damn proud of you, Nyasha. And you know that so much that I love you above everything. What am I saying this? We give such credit where there's no merit. And we kill ourselves looking at, what do I say? Things that we say are role models. We tilt our attention and even always try to imitate. And so I have to look like this. I have to be like this. Or they are the best in this. Or they're the ones that speak truth. They're the ones that do quality. They're the ones that. And now you getting a princess, very young as you are, saying, I don't see any privilege here. Come on, give me a break. I see just losing something that is
Mm.
just not there. There's no substance. And when everything disappears, how is it dangerous it's gonna be?
Yes, they're going to fall. They're going to fall very deep. And it's not funny really, to be honest. When you are born in a certain kind of culture, this is and then you just know what I know is a lie. Everything for me is a lie. It is a mental breakdown. It is, Mama, this is a serious case. And whew, I don't want to be in the shoes, to be honest. I really don't.
I mean, like today, we're proud of we're not proud of our history in the sense that we chose to be that, the enslaved.
Mm,
We chose to be the colonized. We chose to be the marginalized. We chose to be the exploited. We chose to be the manipulated. It's not a pride that we say pride, but at least, like you said, we know it and we own it. And we say that is it, particularly if we were not even part. And now you're saying, imagine it is us who had done it. Our ancestors had done it. And someday you just wake up to know that these things I call privilege for myself is all lootings that have made me to be that. And when the
yes,
scales would fall down, how am I going to look at it? That's what you're saying.
yes. And they are so materialistic. They are very in their matter, very much in their materialistic, and very aware on the spirituality. So it is a very, it's going to, yeah, yes, it's going to be very a long road for them. But like I say, they have their own challenges to do, and they're gonna have to deal with that. Even by starting by, like, when you as an African, when you try to explain something to them, even when you have a higher degree than them, they cannot look at you as an equal. Mama,
Never.
how can you teach? And we are the mothers of them. Let's say we want to teach them about their spirituality. They can't even look at us as an equal. How then are they going to reach their spirituality? Tell me that.
Never.
They have they have their own problems that they have to deal with. So, whew, this is not my war. That's on them. They have their own things to do, and whew, I don't want to be them, to be honest. They are completely gone. It's going to be very hard for them to work on their spirituality, if it is possible. Yeah.
Yeah, when you live in a system where you don't listen and you don't see people like you can learn anything from them, it's very obvious that you only learn by making mistakes. Even amongst us too, we also have this tendency of, what can he tell me? He's not a PhD, he's not a doctor, he's not been where I've been. What is it that he can tell me? We go back on the continent, for instance, we'll be talking on repatriation projects. And you see, even with our mindset, if you're in that category, you don't have a humility amongst you. You don't put your ears on the ground to listen on information. You don't learn from one another, and then you just feel you know it all. I think it's an attitude that, okay, we're talking about a certain culture, but this particularly is also pertaining to even some of us that, like, we know
Mm.
elders. We also know elders that are saying what she's saying. Does she have a title? Does Mama Tata really have a title? So, what is it that she's telling me? I've been there and I've been here. I think that is exactly what King Bongane was saying. Until we
Mm.
go in our spirituality of say, I know nothing, but I want to know. Even if I
Mm.
thought I know, I just don't want to be that one that really claims I own the monopoly over knowledge, like Professor Pierre Olumumba is always articulating.
Exactly. But I think also that you're absolutely right. But it is this when you're born in this system, we are trained
Can
to
you be a
look at
little
the
bit
PhD.
audible? Mhm.
When you are born in this system, we are trained to look at the titles. What do you have? Hmm? Then automatically we ignore the personal titles. Like I remember, a friend of me sent me a video of a natural healer. I look at the titles. Who is that? An African person in the wild? Jesus. I mean, even me myself.
So you wanted to see Professor Dr. MDDD, and then you start
Yes.
already, just the title gives you the opinion. He knows it all.
Yes. Yes. Mom Tata, look at these PhDs now. What they're doing right now. Those PhDs. Nothing. So even I sometimes have to train myself. Don't be too focused on these titles. Sometimes it doesn't mean anything. Sometimes it doesn't mean anything. But it is a training that all of us has to do. That system here is a lie. Everything is upside down. Everything is upside down. The clinic is not there to heal me, it's there to make me sick. The school is not there to teach me, it's to educate. Educate. It's there to deprogram me. It is not to teach you anything. So we have to really go back and really look at what does that all mean. And we really need to do our research. That it is, but it is like I say, it is the program we have to do on ourselves. That really sometimes the person with no PhD, our natural healers, he might know how to help you more than those double PhDs. But it's a training that people have to go through and learn. Because those PhDs have been already programmed in the system. So we have to really be conscious about that and work on ourselves on a daily basis to deprogram ourselves. What I have to do daily on myself. Because even I sometimes take the Kool-Aid. All of us do that sometimes. So we have to really do the process of working on ourselves very much, step by step.
Wow, Naisha, how much more do we just enjoy listening to you, particularly the young generation of Africa? And young, smart women like you that are already snap the point and to like, we know it all, we play it, but we are conscious actually where we're going to and what we're supposed to go. They're not here to educate, but to program. Clinics are not made to heal, but to even make you sick. What? Who do you want to say that to?
Oh my God.
When the
Oh my God.
queue up there, or even from the biggest leaders are running out from their continent of natural herbs that could solve these problems, and they're locked up somewhere in some, I don't know, because he flew out for treatments. What? And then 1.4 growing on your continent, multiplying every day. And even when you're running to the growth rate is lower. I mean, the pyramid gets wider under and smaller
Mm.
up. So what makes you really not trust that? What is that, Nature?
I think it is deprogramming. I think really over generational programming. It's deep. I think it's deep. I think it's. I think as African, we don't understand how program we can become. I think it's the programming. I think it's the really social kind of programming we've been going through. It's deep. The same hate in Africans is so deep. We don't trust ourselves, each other. If there's another brother, who say, I can help you, we go to the white person with the PhD, not our brothers, because we don't trust ourselves. Not trusting that brother means I don't trust myself because he is a mirror of myself. And as Africans, we do not love ourselves, we do not trust ourselves because we've been programmed to self hate. So there is a lot of work we have to do as Africans on ourselves. Me also include. I was also thinking about something for the past couple of days that that as a people we live through life and we never ask questions or something else. I was thinking about contracts. We signed a contract of paying taxes. We signed contracts going to work. We go to school. It's a contract. But there are also spiritual contracts we go through. Like people who go out there and take this, you are signing a contract. It is a contract you are signing. Marriage is a contract. Being a boyfriend is a contract. So we go through life and make all those contracts, all those so contracts without knowing. And we have to really ask a people, start asking questions. So what exactly does it mean? What exactly am I doing? And it takes time. And I think that the hardest work that we need to do as people is to accept the programming that all of us have been programmed, me include. And how can I deprogram myself to be a better person? I think that is the problem. I think over generation, there was a systematically deprogram ourselves completely that we are children. We are grown ups in a grown body, but we behave like children. Like we give away the responsibility of our own body to a government. What is that? What is that? We trust in other people and give away the responsibility. What is that? Even this thing of parents, not even raising our own children. Both of us go to work, and the child is home, and the state takes charge in them. What is that? So I think that it's not that people are dumb. That's not what I'm saying. I think we have been made so sleep that we can't even ourselves ask questions. There's a lot of things we have to do as a people. We have a lot of work to do. And I think, Mama, that is the problem. It's the deep, deep, deep social programming all of us have been going through that we can't even trust ourselves and the other. But how can I trust another Africans if I don't even trust myself? I'll go to the clinic and things gonna help me, but they are actually experimenting on me. That's the truth. Because all the people who took that thing are social experiments. It's not me saying this. There are even doctors themselves saying this, that you are an experiment. So it's sad.
Yes.
I hope you're not losing your people because of me now.
Losing who? Can you imagine how many people are watching you? You don't even understand what is going on here. I don't know what kind of you particularly. I know I always challenge Kofi, Johnny, and all of them. So I know where Carrie Banks and all of us, and we say whenever particularly the young people and then women are here, you see the population is always like yesterday. King Bong, and of course, it's they have their followers and the viewers, and we listen also to the elders. But I think it's also time that we start listening. You're almost hitting, I mean, I see on Facebook more than how many watching, and here on YouTube, and your followers, they're really there and like what, and clapping for you. So I
Mm,
mean, what is it that, like you said, we are matured already at the age? You remember what Rotendo said last time, like, you know, if children or nature made it that women could already conceive at the age of 13, some even 9 or 10. So it's already a program in you made by the creator that you're already a mother, for instance, right? And
mm,
so in our brains as well, we're programmed like we're already in this age, but sometimes a system is always still going to break you down to say, no, you belong to this class because you are this gender, or you are not, they just put you into boxes and categories, and then tag what you're supposed to and what is recommended for you and what not. It's like the ping pong thing, right?
absolutely.
You're doing amazingly well, Naisha. I'm so proud. And I think this deprogramming, you've just given us some steps. You look like somebody who meditate a lot. And I see you walk in the garden a lot. You walk in nature. You have your chickens that you raise in your farm. You plant your own vegetable. What is it again that you do? Just tell me. I mean,
Yes, meditation helps a lot. It also trains the discipline, also helps you to have some silence moments. Because sometimes when you live here, you have things to do, your phone is off, you have to do this and that. You have no, and I believe in having quiet moments where your phone is off, you're sitting down, nobody's gonna come to you, and you spend time with yourself. Okay? When you are a mother, tell your children, mommy needs some mommy time. Okay? So don't come to mommy
look at who
at
is
this time.
talking.
Okay? Your phone is off and time with yourself. Okay, now what does Nyasha needs? Because me first. Because sometimes, Mama, I feel like we as a woman, we've been so programmed in this system. Let's give, 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 to give too much of ourselves that we forget that we need something. That's why I think also we as a woman, we can be empty and harsh. And I believe in teaching our women one lesson. A woman told me something very important. When the plane is, if the plane has an accident, you take the oxygen first to yourself and then the children. Myself first. Take care of yourself first. That's the first step to everything. Take care of yourself first and then the other people. So I think that when we make this as a priority, I think as a woman we can go very far. So to have boundaries with yourself as a woman, how much you can give, how much not, how much time you spend, and also and be in nature. Be outside, spend time with the sun. And I do spend time with the sun. I am outside. I do plant, to make this my own food because I don't trust the food system here, to be honest. So I try to really eat my own food that I produce, so I know there is nothing in them that maybe mess up with me or something. Who knows? I mean, so I do go to groceries. I do go there, but I try to also, learn to plant because it's time with myself. And people who know me know I value my private time very much. I love the people, but I value my time a lot because it also makes me cool down. And also, if I spend time with myself, I am more secure on my decision. You
Mm.
know, if I don't do that, on my experience, I am very insecure and I make bad decisions and I am very not sure what I'm doing. And I like making decisions while I am sure of them. And time with myself helped me with that a lot. And as a woman, we have to start value our private time and value also our boundaries with our husbands, children, anyone, even our own bosses. We have to value ourselves as women because we have been so much programmed to give, give, and give, and not looking in ourselves as women. I think this is a big problem as what we do as women. We give so much, and then we end up being angry and bitter, and those things breaks my heart. I think that we have to change that as women, really.
Whew, breaks your heart. Please don't break that heart. No, no, no. You're still on the score. And yes, we wish you a very, very pleasant life. You're not going to go through this, but it's already what we see. You're already on the good steps. You're conscious. That's what we're talking about here. We're on the Global Peace Week when we're talking about our own self healing from within. Peace is possible, but we start on working with ourselves. How do I
Exactly.
make decisions that I'm conscious, not being in the mainstream? Because everybody does it, I have to dance to it. But of course, how do I also keep that connection between myself and also the outside world? Remember, we are not also living as individual people, we're a
Mm-hmm.
collective. And so, yes, we do also agree that not everything we're really just going to be a ruler people and just say, I am just so one on one correct. The mistakes as humans that we would do. And so, there also the possibility that even though we trust and or we mistrust, it's also it's also okay to not trust. So I think everything works in when we are conscious, Naisha. Um,
Absolutely. I think
yes,
that every woman, I think every person can find his own way to deal with it. Um, I think every person has his own individual way to do it. I think that when you just start the journey, you're going to find out what the best way is for you. That's more like you're going to find out the creator or the what you believe, what you all believe in is going to support you in finding your own groundness, and you're going to find your own balance. So just go the journey, and everything is going to fall into the right places. That's the good thing on the universe, on our ancestor, on the journey. Everything is going to work in the right places at a certain time. So don't worry too much. No, no, no. Everything is going to. It is not your job to know what to do. It's your job to know where you want to go. The universe is going to take the rest out of it,
hmm,
and you're going to know what to do. Mhm. Just know what you want to go, and the universe is going to work on that. That's the beauty on it, because we are supported as a people. Absolutely, and you're going to find a way how you can deal with how you can be in peace and still have your family surrounding and be in a community. You're going to find the right balance and the proper way. Because I think, Mama, everybody have his own way how to do it. It's no one way how to do a thing.
true.
Yeah. So what I say works for me does not mean it works for you. So, but there is a way to everything. There's millions of ways to do a thing because we're all different, but we are all loved and supported, and we are going to find a way. Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Hmm.
Wonderful. You program the conversations and the guests on the Pan African Daily, and there are a lot of them you take into consideration their works, whether they are authors, but most of them you also you challenge them first, even before you get into their profiles to find out if this is really good for us to learn or not. Now, what are some of the criterias that you put on topics, and how, there's sometimes you just tell me, oh, this was nothing, it was a mess. like, okay. So what is essential for you, us like Africans? Particularly, we're connecting, we're getting
Hmm.
to know each other now, we're loving ourselves, we're fighting for one common objective, unity and the development of ourselves and motherland.
Hmm. What I find important on our guests when we invite them is, of course, I listen to my stomach, of course, but I also find important who they are as a people. This is what I think, what I find more important than what they're saying. And yes, is to find out who they are as a people. How do they treat their wife or their husbands or their own children, people surrounding? That is what we on the Pan Affordability B put value in. How do they treat their family members and their other people? That is what we on our team value in who they are as a people. That is, what we find important, what we value the most. And also, what are their agendas? What do they believe in, and what is their goal of coming on our show?
Mhm. Tell me more
It's
about that.
also so when we invite somebody on the show, we want to know what exactly do they want to reach on the show. And they want to come here to be famous, to be seen, to be known, or are they coming for a real message? Or are they coming to really talk about what is in the heart for the people? Or are they just coming to be seen? This is also something that we also, on the TV as a team, we also look at, you know. And I also do look past their shows. I also look at how do they engage with their people? Do they answer questions people ask? How do they speak with their people? And how do they engage with the hosts? Oh, we also look at that. How do they engage with their host? And they're respectful people. Yes, this is what would be very value in that. Absolutely. And also, I also read their writings. Are there any complaints about them? If yes, who complained and why was they complaining? And how also is their language? How do they speak? What words do they use? Do they use profound languages? You know, that is something that we also value and look at.
I could never have chosen some other person better than you, Naisha. God could never have given us or given me a PA more than who you are. And of course, I really, on the behalf of this Pan African Daily TV, Naisha, as he's saying, we want to reach out and share condolences to our brothers and sisters that are hit by the hurricanes out there. And we are getting more and more feedback. Thank you, Kofi Zuma, who actually described the scene in such a way. And then we went out to also share the news on the Pan African Daily TV Facebook. We gave out a whole long write out from what the New York Times wrote about there. But I think what actually we need is, if we will have a community to put us always this first-hand information from their own perspective, and not just the
Yes.
global thing. Because what we've realized is, even though it's a pandemic, or it's a, I call it or natural catastrophe or hurricane or whatever, look at the pictures that they will always put, who are the ones that are suffering in it. And so it is also how we program what we want people to see in the news. In
Mm.
the Caribbean is the same thing. Now we post these images because we don't have our own correspondences to give us exactly what the situation is. And I had to bother Kofi and say, Kofi, please tell me exactly what is going out there. What am I saying? We're saying that we want to expand the Pan African Daily TV. We have been talking about this for long and asking people to reach out to us. If you're a radio host, or you are a freelancer, you're doing journalism, or you have a passion just to report stories the way you see it, please reach out to us in your different countries, in your different destination, and just share the latest information that you have. We have our Pan African Daily TV WhatsApp group in which most of you that are following us are always on it. So most of the time we take the news that other people report to us and we post it out there, and then we wonder why we sit and ask other people to tell our stories. So, but I want to actually thank Kofi for giving me this statistics. And when I compare it and I looked around it, and I also reached out to Professor James Small, who confirmed everything and even say even him himself is caught up in this hurricane, and that close to New York Times was talking about 48 lives lost. But we just saw recently that they're climbing up to 59 of what we have now. And we really want to share our solidarity with our people out there, because at the end of the day, we're going to start seeing only them that are homeless. We're going to start seeing there will be the less people to be attended to. Though, and we saw His Excellency Joe Biden said this is the worst ever hurricane or disaster that has hit America. Now, but because America has this so-called image now, we post and people are coming like, oh, it's karma. Oh, it's because they put their nose in every other thing. Oh, look at what they just did to Afghanistan. It's coming back and this and this. No, we're talking about lives. We're talking about humanity. We're not talking about people that make systems. We're talking about us. I mean, when you see that, you get worried and you pick the phones and you want to find out, are my people there okay? And you reach out to one another. Tell me actually what is happening. Are we affected? What is the situation? How do we reach out? That is what we really want to engage on the Pan African Daily. Apart from just that, we have our communication and we share information on the continent. There's a lot going on. Who is telling us that? We are not a mainstream. Yes, we put our hands everywhere. We struggle to get the guests here. We do the programming, like you see what you heard what Nyasha was saying. I have to do a due diligence about them, check critics on them. How do they deal with this? Because we want, I mean, we're not saying that everybody has to be perfect. But of course, children are watching the Pan African Daily. It's a family program that we're learning to build ourselves. We're not saying that somebody knows more than somebody, but we trust our source of information so much. I hate
Exactly.
to share this thing and give credit to also people that want to see me that way. Now, when we post that, if you look at all the images, they're just us, the Black people that are being shown in those things, trying to correct. So, are we the only people that are affected? Why is it that when anything is negative, they have to put it our face out there? If we're drowning, it always has to be us that there. And now the natural flow, things that we don't even cause, it always has to be us that has to, the picture, man doesn't see any other thing. The camera doesn't take any other images or others. It always has to be us. So anyway, we claim that and say it's because we built such civilizations. Why not on the other side too? But please reach out to us in your different countries. Sign up. You want to correspond. We have thrown it out there. We don't have 1 million times to look who is who. We don't have that time. All of us are volunteering to do our best. If you are in any county or village on the continent, in the diaspora, anywhere around us, and you say, I'm interested, just watch around me. What is going on? There is an earthquake. Oh, I sent it to the Pan African Daily. You have our WhatsApp number scrolling right there. If you don't have it, I give it again. It's +49 1578 211 2379. If you look at everything, you're going to get please just volunteer and say, I want to be reporting on this. Of course, I know we're not going to get every sources that come to. We have to look at them and make sure that we are not going Yes, to also put out facts. And then number two is not only reporting about them, but send us some good images. Send us real images. If you're around that surrounding, make pictures with your phones, but don't be discriminated in the kind of pictures. That's one of the biggest thing that always keeps us programmed. That's one of the programming, and that's why Naisha say I don't watch TV because the news is always about me. Anything that I see that is underprivileged or poverty or diseases or whatever, it's my face that I'm going to see there. And it is depressing. It is a program that I have to keep seeing myself at that me. We look at all the images, children that are faced with diseases or whatever. We look at in Haiti, it's the same thing. Earthquake, as it is it only the black people or the Africans that are now inhabiting the earth? We don't see any other images that are talking about situations out there. Even if they are drowning in the Mediterranean, and on that boat, it was a multiple 120, 50, the cameraman is going to take only that meme face. So, but it's because, like you said, Naisha, we sit back and allow people do it for us. So please make sure you drop in your contact to us, and we are reaching out to build those correspondents for the Pan African Daily. If there are break-ins in the community, we want to be more engaged, more connected, not just only educate ourselves what we need to do, how we need to get into ourselves, but need to get more active. Naisha, you said something. I'm not just that talk. I want action. Go ahead.
Love what you say, Mama Tata, and you are absolutely right. We need to take the action, and when you see something, I think sometimes also we have to be bold. I can do it. I can be the one. But I think sometimes we think, oh no, I have no journalism degree. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I have this big camera. No, I can do it. Trust your eyes. This is what I saw and then report it. And I think that's a good thing what you say. Let's trust ourselves and don't wait until the other people give us the information. No. And I love what you said. We have to be people who take action. And also realize that media and journalism is a very big tool what we have as a people. And we cannot give it to anybody. We as a people have to be engaged in our situation and care about what's happening in the village. I'm gonna go there, see what is happening, and report it on my truth on what I see.
Mhm.
And I love what you said. Exactly. Trust what I see. So that's a very good starting point on that.
Yes, we need it. We need it. We need it. We need more information coming out there or
Yes.
about this either. And then we need experts. We need people to come and tell us. I just talked to Brother Asukele in New York, and he told me he would be live with us on Sunday and to share this. All of them, they're still in shock. They're still running helter-skelter. They're trying to make sure they relocate people and give assistance out there. Kofi has been out the whole night saying, yes, we're trying to reach out to the community and see who actually needs what. We see a lot of people putting lists in some counties out there asking people to bring even diapers for the kids or bring bottled waters. We need this information to disseminate. And believe me, people, it is not only because it's happening in America, even our brothers on the mainland, when we put out this information there, I got a lot of people asking, how can we help? How can we help our people out there? Is there any way we can assist? These are all structures we're not doing. We're always thinking that when we sit here, it's all diaspora. Go to the continent, bring your know-how, bring your skills, bring your money. Oh, let's build cities. Oh, let's do this. To be honest with you, your brothers and sisters on the mainland are eager to reach out. It doesn't matter what currencies they have, the coaches or the whatever they've devalued, it's the same. If you look at the standard of living on the continent, it is not cheaper than the ones that we have here. So sometimes when we even say they develop currencies, it's just another trick, right? So your brothers on the mainland, when they get Even the earthquake in Haiti, we put out that information, and we had people on the continent say, how can we support? A lot are saying, please just leave those places, come back home. Just come you back home. It's always you that is affected. So you see, that's that power, that solidarity among us. How do we want to see the connection and the unity and love? It's not only as if we are here, we are better, and then the continent say, oh no, come back, bring your this, come and buy land, come and do this. No, the people on the continent are ready. There's so much ready, and I can guarantee they have money because they don't have bills too much to pay like us. So Solidarity Fund is being out there. If you know any organization that is saying we're putting out funds for the EIDA that is affecting our community, I'm reaching out to also this organization. And you see, that's one of the point that we're really building the Africa We Want organization to be this kind of charity and reaching out to the basic things in our community. Others are already doing bigger projects that are high-end projects, elite projects, but let's go back to the basic needs of our day-to-day people, which is that
Yes.
organization that when something hit, whether it's in Europe, in the UK, on that we can rush to. We don't have it as a Black people. We don't have that. We talk about big structures, we talk about institutions, but we don't have the basic things. The basic things like
Exactly.
what just happened. Who is going out there to do what? Now, people are putting out a list. We need candlelight. We need this. Now, even just to communicate in the neighborhood, in the community out there. Oh, do you know that these people, I call my sister in Kentucky, I call my brother in Atlanta, and they're like, and I said, oh, are you affected? They said, what? What affected? I said, wait a minute. You mean you don't know that there is a hurricane? So you see, we might be living even in the same space. We're just so disconnected. Like Nyasha said, we are not focused. We are distracted. Nobody cares until the TV would have to collect that. And then we still like, oh, it happened there. Until I told her, and she was dozing, and she's like, oh, I have to check, and this and that. Please, we have to wake up and do the basic things to keep us surviving as a people. We talk too big, we talk too high, we talk to change a whole continent. Let's start it from the home and looking at the
Exactly.
suffering people around us that really need us. We have a lot
Exactly.
to do. We have a lot of people on the street, homeless here and there. It's our responsibility. How do we get them off the street? Should we start taking care of them and saying they have to go to the country than them taking some doping? And at the end of the day, we'll say, oh, it's a systematic thing. Who is really doing that work? We have to work for the poor. We have to work for the marginalized. We're the voice of the voiceless. And let's practice what we really say. Yes, we can sit and listen how we can heal ourselves, but let's start with the basics. Someone needs food. Do you have it? Someone needs something. Do you have it? And we share the little that we have. I think we must have done 80% of our work. Nyasha, I'm sorry. I just had to cut this and put out this situation going out there because we're
Absolutely.
still working to put some of those images on it. And do you know who is
Oh,
coming live
absolutely.
on? Do you know who will be the guest for tomorrow?
Whew. Hmm. That's a beautiful question. And I think we can pronounce it for tomorrow. Then we're gonna
Okay.
look who the perfect person gonna fit for tomorrow. But I love what she said right now. We have to live in the. I think as Africans, sometimes me myself, we have to learn to live right now. I think sometimes we live for tomorrow or yesterday. Maybe tomorrow doesn't exist for me or for you. So we have to really, what you said right now, perfectly. We have to learn to live right now. What is happening right now? Let's support our brothers and sisters in New York right now. Let's talk about what's happening right now with our health. And I like what you said right now. We have to learn as a people to live in this moment right now. And I love that sometimes we don't. We live in the past or we live in the future, but we never really take a moment and live right now. And right now, our brothers and sisters in New York are dying, and we have to take action in that and support them in that. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm. Thank you very much.
Beautiful said.
It's our responsibility. It's our duty to do it, and we must do
Absolutely.
it. At the end of the day, it's all on us. It is the same face and nose that I carry like you. And so it doesn't matter. And that's one of the reasons that we keep always thinking that something is being done to us. Yes, something happened to us, but let us learn to take the smaller steps and do the basic things, care for one another right now. And for today, we're not sure about tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Naisha, you said it. We're going to work on the program for tomorrow. Normally, we had announced Professor James Small had to be here, but you just heard he himself is affected. They're in a blackout, total, complete blackout since last night. They don't have light, electricity. He texts, he posts some pictures. If you know anything about any other person somewhere that is also in that need, please share our condolence, those lives that are lost. And when I saw some of those pictures, Naisha, and that's what most of the people on the continent was like, wait a minute, were there houses here? And then, like, it is so dangerous, that kind of a storm like the Ida that cleans up everything and it's like a ground zero. So we are always at risk at one moment. If it's not by nature, it's by systematic brain up. We have to go in
And I
us.
think that we should have a conversation about that,
Yes.
about those weather incidents in Germany, Italy, in New York, in Haiti,
Hmm.
also in South Africa. And there is a lot of weather happening, and we have to really step back and look at what is happening here. Is is somebody manipulating the weather, or is it spiritual? Because there is a lot of things happening with the weather. And I don't think this is just natural. We have to really sit down and have a real conversation about that, about what exactly is the meaning of these incidents in Germany, in America, in Italy, in Greece, you know, in Australia, all those weather incidents, this fire burning that's happening around the world. Absolutely. I think that everything is connected.
When I talked to Professor Baina Bello, and she said one thing that I'd like to share with all of us, and I think it's a
Mm-hmm.
takeaway. She said, maybe sometimes we're not listening to Mother Earth. We just don't pay
Mm-hmm.
attention, just like we don't pay attention to ourselves. We don't also pay attention to the other dimension that is nature. Sometimes they
Absolutely.
speak to us and they show us signs and do a lot of things, but we just don't pay attention. Do you think that could also be a problem?
Absolutely. 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 Like you said, we don't pay attention about ourselves. We don't pay attention to our own body, what it needs. So how then can you pay attention on the on the nature? We don't. I mean, nature is a living being, but we don't even see it like that. We don't. It's something we use and then we throw it away when we have it. We even now have machine bees. Do you know bees? Right? Bees? We
Yes.
even now have machine bees because the bees are dying off. Can you imagine that? That now here in Germany we have a fabric that is creating bees because they are dying off. Can you imagine that? And we're even celebrating that, saying now we are moving forward. So, oh,
Like
it's
extinguishes, like they extinct life and then create an artificial one. Oh, nature, we use you and then dump you and then create our own. Wow.
yes.
Right.
Can you imagine?
Mm.
And the, and I call it, Entwicklung, step forward. Look at
Development,
it's
technological,
develop,
whatever,
and it's amazing.
innovation.
Yes, and people were clapping. Said, "Oh, oh, beautiful! What a genius!" Instead of thinking, okay, if they're dying off, why are they dying? Okay, if they're dying off, can it be that maybe it can impact also us one time? What is killing them? No, let's kill our. It's crazy. So absolutely, abs, Mabella, you were absolutely right. And those people have PhDs. sitting down and
But it's the same thing how we humans are so destructive. You see how they even extinct us, population reduction, whatever, and then they create robots to work. I mean, sometimes you really ask, what is it that the human being really wants? We have people
absolutely,
that could work and do this, and you're like, no, 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 it's not, because they are uncontrollable. You just want to remote control them, and so you don't sit, do manipulations, and always has to be what I think, not how you think. They should not exist to think and have a brain on their own. Wow.
absolutely, and we call that
Thank God we have the
innovation.
creator.
Absolutely, we call it innovation. We're moving forward, and I said, what robotic? It, I don't know.
Technological development, and then we Africans will see it like, you see, that's the first world. We have to follow the trends, we have to do like that. The problem with Africa is because the women, they produce too many children, and their families, they don't do this, and that's why we're dying of this and this and this. Now, who is going to control the world, and how are we going to live without a world that humans live together with their other counterparts like animals or natural beings? How are we going to exist? We're going to be extinct. And we see the hurricanes, the ecosystem has been so drained and drained and drained. They can't stand it anymore, right, in nature. We don't even pay attention
Absolutely,
even to our pets.
absolutely, absolutely. And I think that it is so profound that that we as a people we've been so live in this lack of system. Like women produce too many babies. There is enough for everybody. But when you are born in this system, somehow, the way we see the world, it's uh, there's no, we have to save the money. We have to save to like all this lack. This European system is lack. It's training us lack. Or too many babies. There is enough space for everybody. There is enough food for all of us. But somehow, when we are born here, or no, we have to, or no, there are too many babies here. And who gives you the right to decide the amount of sugar people can? I mean, who are you? And we give them this right to say that. Yeah, there are too many people on this world. Who are you? So it is really things that we really need to rethink.
Ah, boy, it is. It is crazy. It is just, I don't even know. You know, the most difficult thing is like, even when they talk about that thing and like, oh, women in the rural villages or in Africa, these women don't leave to come to you to ask for help. You carry
Absolutely.
your boxes and pay your transport and go to those villages and interview them what they should say and make
Can you
illegal
imagine?
pictures about them. They have their 10 or 8 or 4. They, yes, they live how they live. It is okay for them. But you carry your so civilized system and say, I am a helping person and I want to reach out, and you go and even infiltrate their privacy and take all those things and then come and define them according to your standard and your term in terms of help.
It's amazing. And who are you? Coming and even this kind of is going to teach us how to produce seeds so we can how we can do agriculture so we produce more food. I mean, no. Then now we have um, apples with no seed in them. Do you know what seed means? Seed means life. They want to give us, this system is full of death. Death, people are dead. People, zombies. It is so destructive in their way of doing things. It's really like, I don't know how to say it. So destructive in the way it is. So, so they make people to zombies. You really see a human being currently a zombie. Come, go to work, do this, do this, do this. He has this big PhD, but when you look at him, you see a zombie. He died long time ago. It's just a body you see. There's nobody, there's no living soul in them. So it is a lot of things that we need to work on. Even he say, yeah, we have to change the way African do agriculture and to do seedless fruits. Why do we need fruits with no seeds? I mean, an African say, "Oh, that's a brilliant idea." I said, "What?" It's really profound, and we really need to, really go back and respect the nature. Exactly, Matata. We lack respect. Exactly. We disrespect the nature. Absolutely. We are a disrespectful people, to say the truth. That is
I
the
like the way
truth.
you drop the accent on everything that you want us to really like. Think. I really just think.
I know.
Think.
This is
Yeah.
so disrespectful. I've never seen this in my life.
Yes, I
But
don't
yes.
think it's only just a matter of this kind of sick people and sick systems are just so destructive. And I think Rev Shock is always telling us, when you don't have, and you said it in the beginning, it's a kind of a fear like it's me. So most of the time we say we're victims. No, it's not us. It is somebody that has so much fear and has that fear that you would outperform or discover these things. So we have to get these things straight. Um, not being in a victimized, but we're going to have this conversation. We already have experts on these topics to say, how do we always feel like it's us? Isn't it a trick that no, you are the one that is so afraid you can't even stand it? And each time you see me, I become a threat, right? Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks so much, Naisha. It's been a wonderful conversation with you here. I don't know, anyone wants to call in and share their opinion with Naisha, what she's been saying and educating us on this chilly conversation. I think our emotions are not really that we are wailing the sadness and getting up to see that people lost their lives in a community where we think that we're living in a safe world. And yes, we're still here, but there's a lot of sadness. We also posted on our timeline the final resting place for our ancestor, Dr. Ronoko Rashidi, uh, who finally has been led to rest. And we saw that solemn but very noble ceremony that our brothers and the elders there in America put to show that respect for his work, for his personality, for the kind of a person that we were. We want to congratulate our brothers and sisters in America that put out that solemn, noble, and humble ceremony to pay him that last respect. Um, we saw the pictures, everything was just beautiful. I mean, there was no act of it is a share of a loss, it was more of a celebration. I didn't have that kind of, go or ghost when I watch other elders transit. You could see that spirit is alive, that he was just there, that picture that he took, and that broad smile, And so all these things manifested on the same time that I said, it's like one big tree falls down and you just see nature reacts immediately. So congratulations absolutely to our community out there that has been putting it. We really wanted to have Professor James. He'll be coming next week, hopefully, because he also have been dealing with a lot of lust, and he wants to really tell us how these things have been going out there with the community out there. If you also have in your own groups, in your own communities, we're not calling individuals here on the Pan African Daily. It's all about us. But if you don't tell us, you don't communicate us, you don't share these stories with us, we would not know everything. So we do appreciate you reaching out to us and drawing our attention something that we should communicate more and things that unite us and not things that disunite us. So, one last word, Naisha.
Oh, I just want to thank you for having me here, and of course, I want to also thank all the Pan African TV viewers to take that time, because time is valuable. Time is the only thing we cannot buy, so time is the most valuable thing any one of us have. So of course, I want to thank all of our viewers for coming here and spending this time with all of us. And and I wish all of us to remember to go back inside of ourselves and to make our own decision, and don't believe anything what me or Mama Tata say. Go and do your own research. I hope that our viewers develop that kind of character of being critical thinkers. So that's all what I wanted to leave on for our viewers. Yes, and I hope to see them tomorrow.
Thank you so very much, Naisha. You are so lovely. You are sweet. Yeah. I mean, that spirit, you remember last time Nongo was here, said, how do you manage it, Naisha, to keep this calm and to just speak with some kind of like, you're not hurry, you're not bitter, you're not, but you're saying some very hard things that one can feel it. So I think, yes, if we look even from your body language and how you act, is actually the inner peace that is in you that directs you and give you some surety that we are more than what we really are. So yes, I
Exactly.
see even your viewers are saying, Giditaria say, well spoken, well spoken. I love
Oh,
that. Yes. And Johnny Boy is saying, thank you very much, Carrie Banks. I learned so much from Pan African Daily TV. So it's my honor to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Cindy Handwatch, thank you, Queens. Always on point. You're both so beautiful. Naisha, I told you when you looked at me in the evening, I said, Mama Tata, how do I look like? Should I put on something? I like Naisha. You're just so beautiful the way you are. Look at your body tone and stuff like that. And you see, now they're saying the same thing. Sun Temple is saying, thank you, Naisha. And Tata, Soto Warrior, thank you so very much. Sun Temple is saying, thank you so very much. Walken El No Blessed. Walken and Blessed. Thank you. Hurai Hero. Heroa. If I don't pronounce your names first, please. I'm so sorry. Welcome, Tai. Thank you, so great. And some other people there. And yes, thank you. Thank you. We also appreciate you, beautiful people, and you were joining in your numbers. I really thank you so much for respecting and honoring this conversation with Naisha. Naisha, something is missing, please, before you leave. What about Dr. Aileen? I mean, you give us her program.
she is
She was
coming
supposed,
on the.
you're sitting in for her because she was supposed to be here, and we already announced it. I think a lot of people were even thinking
Yes,
she's
Dr.
the one.
Elaine had a death, a death. Somebody died in the family, so she had some funeral to attend. But
Mhm.
she confirmed October the two. She will be there on
Second,
October. Hmm?
second October.
The second October. She confirmed she's going to be there,
Mhm.
and she confirmed. I will send you all the details. She's gonna come here, and the topic is going to be racism in the medical, and how we can heal ourselves from racism.
So the topic is going to be what? Racism and how we can heal
Yes,
ourselves.
exactly.
Now, can you just tell our viewers a little bit about this personality because she's a high end knocker. I mean, even for her to have agreed to come on our show, I find her so noble. If you look at all, she's been on all these big NBC, ABC, PBS. She's one of the biggest brain out there, and she just said she's coming to you, Naisha. How did you do that?
I ask. That's the secret. When you want something, we have to ask. And sometimes people, and she's watching you. She's a big fan of Dr. Susan Tata.
No.
Hmm. Yes, yes. She is subscribed to our show also. So she
Oh,
does, yes.
wow.
Hmm.
Wow. Absolutely. Yes, because when we read her biography, I was like, she accepts to come to us. Why am I saying it, people? It's not that we're saying some kind. We also have guests, Naisha. You can be my witness. We have guests that are our people that we say, all okay, all of us are working voluntarily to connect ourselves and to build ourselves as a race and a people of color. But we have people when we reach out to them, they're telling us some kind of crazy sums. Can you just 20,000, 10,000 to book me and 15,000? Yes, of course, I'm not disrespecting their profession or work or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. We also do have that. So when we actually have her, a queen that is so top, almost in the rank of the Oprah Winfrey's, saying no, she's coming and she's humbly and she's happy to be with us. Wow. It's our time.
But I also think, Mama Tata, is that sometimes, also that, you're gonna give me money to do something. I think that in this system so much, we have been so programmed to. I think it is not about give me money so I do something, but I really love the people who want more than just the money, who really have the heart of the people to come in and have the conversation. And those, I think, they are spiritual wealth. Because anyone can get money. It isn't that very big of a thing. Let's be honest. I mean it, and also we have to be also careful. You can get money in a lot of ways that you don't want to get money from. But I respect the one who come in on the show and we say, because I have more interest on the people than on the money that I get, and I respect that, and I honor that on the people, and that's the way we as people should be. We should try to be human again. It isn't about how much money she gets, it's about healing our people for what we are suffering from. And she's going to get her part paid spiritually. Just you always get paid. We live in a world of laws and universe. You're going to get your part. Always.
How much more can I tell you how proud I am? I mean, in your young 20s, and you are this such a grown up. I would be a proud mother-in-law sometime soon, walking you to the all, in the ancestry and in that royalty to see that woman that is going to create life and for our people. Naisha, we wish you all the best. And I'm so happy working with you. I like your support and even the energy and the motivation. Even when I'm down, sometimes you're the one that call and say, "Hey, Mama, wake up." That you've been lazy. We need to go back to work. All right, Nisha, I think I have to pick up this call. There's a brother here, I think, who really wants to talk to you. Hello.
Hello, hello, Dr. Anita, how are you?
Good. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you. I'm so happy to be hearing from my sister who's part of your team, who's from the same country that I originate from.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to suggest for our movement of uniting Africa, we have to be centered around economics. Our revolution has failed before because we were trying to integrate into other people's economies. Like the civil rights movements, they were trying to sit into white people's restaurants and give them their money, spend their money with white people, instead of them in their millions. Like when they made a demonstration of not using the buses, they were walking, they were doing it in their millions. But imagine if they had put together very little money. It doesn't need a lot of money. Like collective group economics does not need a lot of money. We don't need thousands. We don't need hundreds. Even just one US dollar or pound or whatever currency of every country, just one unit. And when we do it on a mass level, we build capital to fund whatever it is that we want. Like you are talking of building this media that is pro-African, that is African centered. Everything that we need to do, it has to be centered around economics. So at the center of whatever we are planning, we have to prioritize economics. So hence, I would like to urge you to interview people from the UNIA, the Universal Negro Improvement Association, Marcus Garvey's organization, and also to interview people that can tell most of us about the story of Marcus Garvey and the strategy that they used to build capital and to start factories, to start restaurants, to start businesses for themselves, to buy even ships. They wanted to trade Africans in the diaspora and Africans in Africa in a worldwide economy amongst ourselves, our own economy, self-funding.
Thank you so very much. You are right on point. We've been having the UNIA, and we even have a WhatsApp group that we created when Dr. Ivanka came here. And when she was on the show, our show was shut down. Let me already just tell you that. That was the night she came. That night, our Facebook was brought down, our YouTube was shut down. Yes, because exactly she was speaking this kind of truth and how they had built that. So after that time, I think she really felt so bad. But we created group and even network now, and they're doing a lot of projects because we had brought also that concept of like the UNI has to be represented on the continent in every part. So yes, we have that movement going on. They've been coming here. If you go to the past shows, you're new here, you would go to the Pan-African Daily and scroll right down. You're going to see the shows that we've been doing with them. And of course, they're in the network, and anytime they would come. One of that group economics is what we're talking about, even not just only build that funding that we say it. When we say economic is put all our pennies together. But we look for a situation like the catastrophe that we're talking about. Nearly in every community that we live in, something is going to break down at what point that needs an emergency fund. And now you see why people always take an urge over us is because now we're going to start running to these donor projects. Or they're going to be, even if we collect our own, we want to be that organization that, yes, we Africans will run to. And that's why we're building the Africa we want. We started already long ago. We've been operating since 27 under it. Now it's just the name change and then putting this structure together. Believe me, the main purpose is actually to get all these, our organizations in our own part and create this bank for poor, the bank for the needy,
Exactly.
for things like this, whether we refund ourselves or we call it what. And we are already on track. We're already almost done with it. So thank you for your input. That is very important. We can't do anything without economics, Nyasha.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I can
All
only,
right.
support that statement.
Mm-hmm. So that was your brother from Zimbabwe. And yeah, thank you so much.
Always love my brothers and sisters from Zimbabwe. Shout out to them.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone that watched this edition. And we hope that you enjoyed it. You learned something from it, or you also contributed something to it. We appreciate you so much. Like the show, subscribe, share it. We really want to thank all of you that keep sharing, and the platform is growing. But imagine that we will transform almost 30,000 subscribers to the 30,000 that would be exactly us. It's only us that is subscribing anyway. And when we would transform this into the kind of collective economy that you're talking about, brother, you can imagine that it doesn't take us anything. And we're going to achieve that, just like we achieve any other thing. Okay. Yes. Thank you. We see ourselves tomorrow. Nyasha, thank you so very much for the work you do, and even for sitting in to say, no, we are not going to be absent today because Dr. Elaine could not make it. And we share our condolence and whatever thing that kept her occupied and busy out there. We're really looking forward to have her in October. And we thank you so much for sitting in on her. And please watch out tomorrow. The guest would be announced tonight or tomorrow. So thank you, everyone. Stay blessed. Bye-bye. We see us tomorrow. Bye. You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want. Unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherland's calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.